K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Entertainment Hour. Back with Dragonviper and with my co-host Chris. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm
Hey.
glad to be back. Kind of been real busy, with certain things going on in my life now, and so yeah, I'm not fully back, but I am back enough. So, anyways, so we're gonna talk a little bit about since this is Entertainment Hour, we're gonna talk a little bit about Adam Sandler movies right now. Kind of a short notice thing tonight, but hey, every once in a while you got to have something like that. So.
Right, yeah.
Anyways, and yeah, we're gonna be talking about Adam Sandler movies and what we think of certain movies and go from there, see what happens. So all right, so Adam Sandler, I'm gonna say is one of the greatest greatest actors in my opinion. Greatest comedians. He can pretty much do almost anything except be serious. A lot of movies, I don't like it when he's serious, but he's more of a comedian in my opinion, and he should stay that way in all the roles that he's doing. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go through some movies of his and talk about them, just like I said. We have a comment from my mom, Jean Carlson. Hi guys. Hello. All right, so first off, one of the movies I do want to talk about is Billy Madison. Great movie. About an adult, going back to school to earn his dad's company, to take over his dad's company. I enjoy that movie. And sometimes, I live right now. I live where I used to go to school, and I sometimes I wish I could just go back. There's
Right.
times and reasons why I wouldn't, but then there's times and reasons I would. And he got to go back. He got to, he was supposed to do every grade for 2 weeks, and then there was a snafu in that in that plan. And but overall, he graduated and got his degree after all. And I mean, he was lucky to do that. I think I would probably do it if I could. So I
think
mean,
we all would want to do something maybe not that extreme, but to where we would finish, something we didn't accomplish.
right. I mean, mine, I accomplished a lot because of the fact that I was, I graduated and, all that. But, I think more on the fact that why I would go back is to, kind of like leave a legacy. And because I kind of did, but I didn't. I kind of want to go back just to leave a legacy. I mean, I know I can graduate again if I had to, but it's just that legacy part. I mean, would you do it? And if so, what
I would. I mean, I wasn't this smart. I mean, I passed, but I wasn't the smartest, and maybe go back and just relearn some things that maybe I've struggled on a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you there. And the actress on there, Bridget Wilson. I know a lot of people know this, but some don't. That Bridget Wilson is actually from Gold Beach. and did end up going to Coke Hill High School, or I think Coke Hill High School where I live. So she went to high school here. But anyway, so I think Billy Madison was a great movie. Even had Chris Farley in it. God rest his soul. Um, is there anything else you want to say about Billy Madison?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay. Yeah, that was that, and it's pretty much, I mean, that movie is pretty much in my top 10. I mean, there's going to be a lot in my top 10, so. But anyways, okay, going on, we're going to talk about Happy Gilmore. Now, Happy Gilmore, man, if
That's a good
Ace was,
movie.
yeah, if Ace was on here right now, I'm sure he would probably, talk about how great that movie was. I mean, I don't know many people that didn't like that movie. So, but yeah, I mean, he's a hockey player. He loves hockey. He ends up, playing golf to win money to win his grandma's house back because she didn't pay her taxes and was behind. And so he played golf in order to get her house back. Amazing movie. I mean, another comedy movie that I love.
Now, isn't this movie where I think it was Bob Barker comes in and punches him in the face?
Yes,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
there's a part in that where Adam Sandler's wrong, or Adam Sandler says, the price is wrong, and then
Yeah.
and 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 then of course Bob Barker and him get into a fight, and then Bob Barker ends up punching Adam Sandler, and so but yeah, that's the movie. I really enjoy it every time I watch it. I think that's one of the ones I watch more of than anything else with Adam Sandler. So
Yeah.
um and of course, you have Ben Stiller as a psychotic nurse, and so um, great movie. And
Yeah.
is there anything else you want to talk about with that one?
No, I mean, I know it's probably one of the more iconic movies, maybe as far as comedy goes. I'm sure there's others, but I know a lot of people refer back to that one a lot. So
Yeah, I mean that definitely, I feel, in my opinion, is definitely one of those that people go back to and continuously watch it because it's so good. Um, and then we're gonna move on to The Water Boy. Now, I'm gonna admit this, The Water Boy is actually the very first movie I've ever seen of Adam Sandler's.
really,
Um, a very first movie. I don't know if it had something to do with Big Show being in that movie, or I remember watching wrestling back in I think it was 90. Well, the movie came out in 98. So in 98, when they were doing previews for The Waterboy coming out in theaters, I remember sitting there watching wrestling, and The Waterboy, commercials would come on, the previews for them, and I kind of was like, well, I mean, it has Big Show in it, so I might as well watch it. Because back then I definitely would watch anything with wrestlers in it. So and back then he was known as the Giant in WCW, but yeah, very first movie I've ever seen of Adam Sandler, and just pretty much a water boy turned football player, and gets teased in the meanwhile, on the way to being popular because he saved it, the team, kind of thing, but I really enjoyed that movie too. I mean, I played football, and I couldn't imagine, and before anybody says anything, I was not the water boy. I actually played football. So,
You played
um,
kicker? I'm just kidding.
huh?
You played kicker or
No,
defense or
I was on the line. I was offensive and defensive tackle and guard,
oh wow.
and I was also on special teams for kickoff. So,
That's not
I
bad.
did I did a few different things, but no, I was not the water boy. I know some people like to say, "Oh, Randy was the water boy, dragon viper, water boy." Um, so no, I was not the water boy. But anyway, yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, what do you think about that movie?
No, it was a good movie too. I mean, a lot of good actors in there and actresses too, but it's kind of up there with, Happy Gilmore is one of the iconic, at least in his types of movies, it's probably iconic.
Yeah, I mean, you even have Kathy Bates in there, and I generally don't see her in. I mean, I don't know if it's because of the fact that I'm so used to her being in like horror movies and you know like killer movies or whatever, but
Right.
I don't normally see. I don't see her working in a comedy movie, but it worked for her at that time. Um,
There's some movies that normally don't work out, but works out in general.
yeah, yeah, generally, and I know we've covered it before, where certain actors and actresses do well in certain types of movies, and then there's those actors and actresses that just don't.
Hmm.
So, but Kathy Bates pulled it off in that movie, and that was really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so definitely a major watch there. And then we go on to Big Daddy. Um, I like this movie. Um, it really kind of what they say, tugs on the heartstrings a little bit. Um, but I kind of like this movie, and um, I don't know if they were really trying to hit it off with making this movie a comedy, but they
Right.
definitely did it as a drama.
They
Um,
did.
I think they did.
Hmm.
Because you have, this kid who, wants to be with it, or who ends up thinking he's with his dad. Um,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden, so Adam Sandler's playing, acting like he's the dad the whole time, and then really getting annoyed with this kid, and half the time, having that reaction that he didn't want to be around that kid. And then all of a sudden, when the real dad came in, and he ended up having to go to court to fight to get that kid. It I mean, there was some funny parts in it, but I think, in my opinion anyway, that they were trying for kind of more of a drama scenario in that movie. I mean, do you think it, or
Ooh. I don't know. Sometimes those types of movies are kind of difficult to kind of, determine which, I don't know, genre it is, but I don't, maybe drama, but parts of it were kind of comedy.
yeah, well, like I said, I mean, there were some comic parts in it, but I think mostly it was. I felt that it was mostly kind of drama. And then Gene says, "Against my wishes, back then you and your brother were not supposed to be watching wrestling. You two were pretty sneaky." Okay, mom. Moving on. But anyway, so yeah, Big Day was also a good movie. And then, I mean, is there anything else, Chris, that you want to mention about it, or?
No, I
Um,
think I'm good.
then we have a comment from Christy Wilson. Thank you for watching, Christy. She asked, "Have you guys seen Ghostbusters Afterlife yet?"
I
Not
have not.
yet,
No.
but I want to. And from my understanding, it's on a free TV app. I don't know if I'd have to pay to actually watch it, but from my understanding, it's on a free TV app. And when I get enough time, I really haven't had time to watch TV or movies or anything lately, but when I get the time, that is one of the main things I do want to watch is Ghostbusters Afterlife, because I heard different viewpoints and opinions about it, but I don't know. All I will have to say about it is that it's a good movie. Yeah. So I mean, Christy's saying that it's a good movie. I heard it good, bad. Gene Carlson says I want to see it too. Yeah, I'm sure.
It looks good.
It does look good, and I saw the previews for it. And I'm just like, oh man, I want to watch it. So when I get the time, I will. Just haven't really had time yet lately. So, but anyway, and then that was Big Daddy. Then Little Nicky.
I haven't seen
That
that one.
you haven't?
No.
Chris, you've got to see it. I mean, the deal behind it, is about Satan's son, trying to save his dad from melting away because his brothers are jerks. And I mean, you'd have to watch it to understand,
Yeah.
but yeah, I really like that movie. And some of the characters in it, and yeah, definitely something that you'd be interested in watching,
Hmm.
especially with you liking M. Sandler a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then, but yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, even Ozzy Osbourne makes an appearance in that movie.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah, I mean, you'd have to watch it because there's certain dialogue in there that I can't really share on here. But yes, he one of the guys ends up turning into a bat, and Ozzy bites the bat's head off. So, um,
I've heard he's known to do that. So I mean.
yeah, maybe when I do this again, we'll talk about
Yeah.
Ozzy or something. But yeah, real good movie. Definitely gotta check it out. And then we have uh, Eight Crazy Nights.
Hmm.
He did several different voices in that. I don't know if you've seen it.
I think I have.
It's an animated cartoon Christmas movie. Um,
Okay.
it's about the town drunk and how he causes chaos because he hates Christmas because years ago his parents died and so he had been heartless for several years and and
So
he lost his girlfriend too and then he ends up being the town drunk and his former coach decides he's gonna help him stop causing chaos and doing all that. So
he's kind of like the Grinch almost, but
yeah,
not in
yeah,
that sense. But
the same motive, causing
okay.
chaos. But yeah, he did. I like it. I mean, I even own a copy of the movie. It's definitely a Christmas movie. Um, but yeah, definitely a good movie. Especially if you like animated.
Hmm.
Definitely not a kid movie, but
Even though it's animated, I mean, kind of
yeah,
like some shows are, but
yeah, Yeah, but definitely not a kid show. Um, and then I know you've watched this one. You have got you. Oh man, I know you've watched this. Anger Management.
Yes. Yeah.
Anger Anger Management. Him and Jack Nicholson did awesome together in that movie.
Yeah, they did.
Amazing movie, amazing everything in that movie. And I mean, I don't know what wasn't great in that movie. I mean, how,
I
if
didn't
I
see
were to
anything
go
wrong.
through Anger Management, I definitely would not want something like that to happen.
No. Now, did they do kind of a revival with this with uh 2.5 Men? I can't think of his name, but they did a TV show
Oh,
called
Charlie
Anchor.
Sheen.
Yeah, I know it wasn't as funny, but
I I don't know. I have no idea how I don't even think they were trying to tie it into that movie.
I don't think so
Um,
either.
but yeah, they did have a TV show, Anger Management, but I think that was just a completely different concept entirely. Um, and but anyway, I love that movie from start to finish. Um, yeah, and we have a comment. Gene Carlson says, "Does he bite the head off?" Talking about little Nick, little Nicky. Yes, Ozzy
Yeah,
does bite the head off in that movies of the bat.
yeah.
So, um, but anyways, so yeah, Anger Management, great movie, great movie. If anybody hasn't seen it, definitely watch it. Um, and then we're gonna go on to, unless you have something else, Chris.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna go on next to 50 First Dates. Another great movie.
Yeah.
Here pretty soon I'm gonna end up picking a couple movies I don't really care about, but no, 50 First Dates, another great movie. About this guy meeting this female who, got hit in the head in an accident, and can't remember anything the very next day when she falls asleep. And I mean, great movie. With him and Drew Barrymore. Um, and I don't remember. I know there was a movie before. I think it was Wedding Singer when they first got together. So I believe. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I believe that's when they first got together, and I think they were dating when they were on 50 First Dates.
Huh.
But you know, yeah, I honestly I couldn't imagine dating somebody who doesn't remember anything the very next day. I don't think I'd have, and it wouldn't be because of the fact that I would have a major problem with it when
Right.
it comes to, oh I'm trying to find the right word for it, but I think it would be more of a moral thing because I would feel really bad if I were to do something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
but if it was accidental or not accidental, but it just, it happened, just out of the blue, it'd be an interesting situation, I guess.
yeah, I mean, if it'd be one thing if I was dating somebody for a while and then it happened, then fine. But if I had just met the person and then realized what was going on, yeah, I don't think I'd have the morality to do something like that because that'd be almost kind of mean because certain people could actually mess things up doing that.
Wow.
And then Christy says Sandler and Drew Barrymore have great on-screen chemistry. I think between male and female, chemistry, especially dealing with Adam Sandler, I think him and Drew Barrymore did. I think those two were, because Sandler's worked with several different females, but I think Drew Barrymore worked the best with him. And so I totally agree.
Yeah, I do too.
So, but yeah, with 50 First Dates, yeah, I definitely like it. There are some sad spots in it where, again, pulling up the heartstrings there.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy that movie. Definitely one of the ones I do watch on a normal basis when I watch movies. All right, and anything else you got on that one?
No.
Okay, and then we're gonna look at The Longest Yard.
That was a good
Another one,
movie.
another one of my favorites, and it's not
Yeah.
just because of Adam Sandler. It's most of the, pretty much almost the entire cast. In that movie, you have wrestlers, you have NFL players, you have
Right.
top named actors like Burt Reynolds. Amazing movie, and Adam Sandler played that role so well. And it's a remake. And I've said this
Yeah.
before in the past on this show. I don't really like remakes. I think they kind of, a lot of remakes, I think they kind of miss the point, or they just don't do so, remakes don't do well in my opinion. But this is absolutely one of the best remakes out there.
Right.
And it's not even who stars in it that made it the best. It's just the way it was done. I did watch the first one, and
That was the first one.
the first one was The Longest Yard.
Right, but I mean,
It had
compared to the remake, how was it?
that was, graphics and everything else was completely different by then.
Right.
But I didn't feel like it was that exciting and that fun of a movie. I felt it was a little dry. And Big B Brandon is probably gonna yell at me later for this. But I feel that the original was kind of dry, kind of, I didn't really feel it with that one. But this remake, though, was phenomenal. Just amazing. And, former football player goes
Michael
to jail.
Irvin.
Huh?
Well, I thought you were talking about extras, sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. Former football player goes to jail, and then causes chaos, goes to jail, and then creates football team in prison. So, and again, star-studded, amazing movie.
Yeah, it was. It was very good.
What do you have to say? Because I know that I talked some on it, but what do you have to say about it?
No, it was a really good movie. I mean, you had well-known stars after stars after stars, and whether it be wrestlers or football players or everyone in between, it was really good. And I mean, I think it won a lot of awards, and rightfully so.
Yep. And so yeah, just absolutely amazing. And then we're gonna trying to think. Now I'm gonna go to a movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But Murder Mystery. Have you seen that one?
I probably have.
It's about him and Jennifer Aniston. They go to some cruise because she talks to some guy. If I remember correctly, she talks to some guy. They go on this cruise. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They go on this cruise, and then people end up murdered on it, and Jennifer
Uh-oh.
Aniston, Adam Sandler are being blamed for it.
That makes
And
sense.
yeah, I this one I did not like. This one I didn't care for. I thought it was. I mean, it's a mystery. I kind of like mysteries, but I don't know.
Was it a mystery comedy to you, or
Yeah, it was kind
just
of a mystery comedy.
right?
So but yeah, other than that, I really didn't care for it much.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled on like when it's like a two genre movie. You know, I think you gotta stick with one or another
Yeah. Um
sometimes. But
yeah, I didn't really care for it much. I think they were trying to be too funny or something. I don't know. I think they
right,
missed whatever they were going for with that.
yeah,
Um and then Christy Wilson says Goldberg was in this movie. Yeah, he was in The Longest Yard. Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Great Khali. But yeah, you had several, few different wrestlers, football, real life
real
NFL
football players.
players.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was really good. And then
No.
we're gonna touch on one more Adam Sandler movie. I had met, and then we'll go from here. But
Hmm.
um, uh, I mentioned a little bit ago that Adam Sandler is more of a comedian actor than a serious actor.
Yeah.
Um, there was one movie that he was a serious actor, and it's Click. And
I didn't really like Quick. I don't know. It's
you didn't?
not really. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I was probably younger when I watched it and I didn't really like it, but I probably have to give it another shot.
Yeah, it it was it was a serious role for him. Again, you have a few funny parts, but I mean, I don't know if I could do something like that, honestly. What he did in the movie. I mean, you have a remote that skips through, your issues or skips through what you don't want to deal with in life. And sometimes I feel like I want that, but then on the other hand, it's like, well, if you do that, you're not experiencing um, probably what you're meant to experience. And then you're missing everything, and um, I don't know. I
Did go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say sometimes I kind of want to be able to do something like that, but then I go and I think, well, maybe I'm supposed to experience this or that, or what I'm dealing with, like fights or stuff like that. So, um, yeah, go ahead with
Did,
what you were saying.
I was gonna say, didn't you say they made Murder Mystery?
Yes,
They're
yeah,
making
that's
a
the
second
movie I
one.
talked about beforehand.
They're making a second one.
Oh, well, I mean, I'd probably watch it just to see how it turns out, and if it ties along with the first one like I normally do. But
Right.
um,
Now,
so
Did you? I haven't, but he recently came out with Home Team about Sean Payton.
Yeah, I've
I
never
haven't
seen it.
seen it. It came out not long ago, but I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've never seen it. That'll be on. That'll be one of the ones on my to-do list. To watch.
Right.
Yeah, I've never actually I've never really even heard of it, honestly. Um, but anyway, yeah, back to Click real quick
Yeah, yeah.
though. Yeah, Click is a really good movie, real dramatic, especially towards the end of that movie. Um, especially when he skips his entire life, he skipped watching his kids grow, he skipped, you know, everything at one point. And then, of course, you have the very end when he wakes up because he was sleeping the whole time and he dreamt everything. And he's happy and decides not to take the remote after all and things like that. So
Mhm.
I mean, I honestly couldn't. I honestly could not use that remote if I had a chance to. So
I would use it depending on the situation. Like if you know something's gonna be really bad, in your life, you just like, I just want to skip it.
yeah, but then all of a sudden you wouldn't experience what you're meant to experience. You wouldn't, like somebody dying or a tragic thing happening, and all you want to do is skip it. You're not experiencing what you're supposed to experience. So,
That's true.
um, I honestly don't know if I really could. I mean, I'd want to. I'd really want to, but it's a life experience that people go
Mhm.
through, and you can't just take shortcuts and skip through things just because you don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Um, so anyway, so I mean, those are the Adam Sandler movies that I wanted to talk about. Um,
Good
I
movie
think
choices.
huh?
I say good movie choices.
Yeah. I really, I mean, again, Adam Sandler, one of my top three comedian actors of all time. I'm going to continue when I have time. I'm going to continue watching Adam Sandler movies, the ones I haven't seen. Um, so I mean, that's I guess that's pretty much all I've got. I mean, Chris, do you have anything to talk about or any movies or
Uh, I, what was I know this is probably a few weeks older, but the passing of Betty White and uh, Bob Saget. What was your thoughts on those two?
oh man, I mean Betty White, Bob Saget, it really rocked the Hollywood world.
It
Um,
did.
I mean, especially Betty White. I mean, you're looking at she, 3 weeks short of 100, and and she did so much for the Hollywood community. She did so much for a lot of people and a lot of charities and everything else. She was, my thing is that I mean was Golden Girls. That's mainly what I watched her in. And then, you have Bob Saget, he was as much as he was not a uh, kid-friendly person off of screen. Um, he did a great job on screen. I mean, between America's Funniest Home Videos and Full House, and um,
Fuller House and
yeah, Fuller House. Yeah, he was absolutely a great actor. Wasn't the greatest human being offset, but I mean, look at somebody like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy isn't the greatest, offset comedian, but when he's doing something like Madagascar or one of those kid friendly shows, you
Mm-hmm.
know, definitely a different personality, and that's what Bob Saget had. He had a different personality. Um, so I mean, it definitely rocked the Hollywood world at that point. And
I did.
now you're looking at all these older actors and going, okay, am I going to be next? If Betty White went and Bob Saget went, and I mean, there was like one or two others that really shook things up. Louis Anderson, Meatloaf.
Yeah,
Um,
that was surprising too.
yeah, I mean, you're looking at all these top people now going, and it's like, man, I don't just rocking the entire Hollywood world. So,
It definitely did. I mean, a lot of those, actors and performers are going to be missed terribly, and I don't know. It just won't be the same now.
so all right. Well, I think that's pretty much all I've got, and I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and cut it short because, like I said, this was kind of like a spontaneous thing. So,
Okay.
anyways, and I'm hoping to be back full time here pretty soon. It's getting closer, so um but anyway, once again, coast to coast entertainment hour. I'm Dragon Viper, and that's Chris. Do you have any last words before we go?
Uh, no, I think we covered it all. Thank you everybody for watching and tuning in, and we'll see you guys, next week. And catch us every day here on Coast to Coast.
And I want to thank Christy and my mom Jean Carlson for watching. So everybody have a good night and have a good rest of the week.